Greetings from the Garden State. I am the one they call Amy's Bro, and welcome officially to my channel. If you've noticed on my channel as right now, most of my stuff I've been doing was done using a program called Photo Story. Just got the camera today. Guess what? Things have now changed. So, what will we be doing on this particular channel? We'll be doing some game review stuff. We're also going to be doing ranting about different subjects, and maybe just giving opinions on whatever pops into my head. Speaking of which, here's one right now. We had a football game. We had a couple football games on Sunday. Now, one was actually to end a football season in November, and the others were just, well, regular season football games. Let me explain this. In the country of Canada, they have a football league called the Canadian Football League. It runs about 18 games, regular season, plus playoffs, and it runs from June to November. That actually sounds pretty reasonable. For whatever reason, however, there are those in this country whom decided that that league's a train wreck. And these are the narrow-minded people that honestly don't get it. Here's a little something for you about the CFL. The championship game, called the Grey Cup Final, this was the 97th edition. Now, look at how long the NFL's been around. They're only in what, their 40 plus years of the Super Bowl? Yeah, great. The CFL only needs 8 teams. They're getting a 9th in Ottawa, the capital city of Canada, and I honestly can't wait to see how that's going to work out, because yes, the team has actually shut down on more than one occasion. This year we saw a team trucking through the league like nobody's business in Montreal, called the Alouettes, and they narrowly beat the team from Saskatchewan known as the Rough Riders. Now, who in this country has actually earned my wrath to bring this up? You ever hear of a guy named Colin Cowherd? Well, considering that there might not actually be a national ESPN radio station, and considering the fact that some local radio stations won't air all 4 hours of his radio show, the one here doesn't. That's a little bit of a problem. He feels, for whatever reason, that his NFL is the better league. Really. I don't know if Mr. Cowher has actually looked up the top 25 all-time passing yard leaders in pro football, but numbers 1 and 2 are actually, ready for this, from the CFL. Yes, you can call Brett Favre the greatest NFL quarterback of all time, but if you wanted to be factual, he's only number 3 all time in the pro football sense of things between the AFL and the CFL. Now Warren Moon has played in both leagues. What amazes me is that Colin Cowherd will never have the balls to actually criticize the CFL in front of Warren Moon's face. You know why he won't? Because he's ballless. Apparently, his wife, who divorced him, has bigger nuts than he does. Okay? So, Mr. Cowherd, you can tell me your league's better, but I remember, because I actually watched the Red Zone channel, because that's the only way I'm going to deal with the NFL anymore, you had a week where just about every game was a blowout. Blowout. Now, how's that supposed to make, NFL fans feel? In the CFL, they can have games that are a little bit more competitive. They also move quicker. 3 downs instead of 4. A 25-second play clock as opposed to 40. And only 1 timeout per team per half. They did just recently institute the challenge system, but I actually like theirs better than the American system. Here's the way theirs works. You use a challenge. If you lose your first one, you don't lose your timeout. You only lose it if you lose on your second challenge. If you're successful on both, you do get a third. Just like us now. Their league operates on a 18-game regular season, much like the NFL ones do. They also run 2 preseason games, just like everybody's bitching that we should. No. The CFL is a CFL because they are allowed to do things a little bit differently than us. They are actually the second most popular league in Canada. First, of course, is the NHL. I'll get into some other time why Canada, and especially the CBC, does a better job of producing hockey than we do. I like to call it the Ken Harrelson effect, who's been accused of being a homer for the Chicago White Sox. Not his fault. He's allowed to do what he wants. And by the way, I actually watched a couple of White Sox games while we had the extra innings package here. Good stuff. Couple other things real quick. If I ever mention any certain ranters by name, I'm not intending to disrespect them. My main goal here is to do me. If you happen to find these videos, great. If you don't, just get off my back. So, till then, I will more likely have another video up here later tonight or tomorrow, whichever comes first. So until then, this is Amy's Bro, and I'm going to say sayonara.